Liam James Payne, August 29, 1993 to October 16, 2024, was an English singer and songwriter. He was a member of the pop group One Direction, one of the best-selling boy bands of all time. Payne twice appeared as a solo auditionee on the British television series The X Factor in 2008 and 2010. In the latter, he was invited to join One Direction alongside fellow contestants, placing third and later achieving global success. After One Direction's hiatus in 2016, Payne pursued a solo career, signing with Republic Records in North America. In 2017, he released his debut solo single Strip That Down, which reached number 3 on the UK singles chart and number 10 on the US Billboard Hot 100, and was certified platinum in both countries. His solo studio album, LP1, was released in December 2019. During the first 3 years of his solo career, Payne sold over 18 million singles, 2.4 million albums, and amassed 3.9 billion streams. In addition to his solo work, Payne produced remixes under the pseudonyms Big Payno and Payno. He collaborated with other musical artists and remixed tracks for both his group and singer Cheryl. Payne died on October 16, 2024, having fallen from a third-floor balcony at a hotel in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Early life. Liam James Payne was born at New Cross Hospital in the Heathtown district of Wolverhampton on August 29, 1993, the son of infant nurse Karen Payne and fitter Jeff Payne. He had 2 older sisters named Nicola and Ruth. Payne was born 3 weeks premature and suffered frequent illnesses. Until the age of 4, he had regular tests done in hospital as doctors noticed one of his kidneys was scarred and dysfunctional. In the book Dare to Dream, Life is One Direction, he mentioned that before he was 4, I was always in hospital having tests done, but they couldn't find out what was wrong. They discovered that one of my kidneys wasn't working properly and it had scarred. I had to have 32 injections in my arm in the morning and evening to try and make me better. As a student, Payne was heavily involved in sports, particularly cross-country running. Payne joined the Wolverhampton and Bilston Athletics Club to pursue his running career. For 3 years, he was ranked in the top 3 1500m runners in the country within his age group. He began taking boxing lessons at the age of 12 amidst bullying from older students in secondary school. Payne completed 11 GCSEs at St. Peter's Collegiate School, now St. Peter's Collegiate Academy, before moving on to study music technology at City of Wolverhampton College. Payne was introduced to the world of show business at the age of 12, as a member of the Pink Productions Theatre Company. Appearing as Tony Manero from Saturday Night Fever, Payne had previously performed in front of a crowd of 26,000 during a Wolverhampton Wanderers football match. Career 2008 to 2015, The X Factor and One Direction. Payne performing in April 2012 in Sydney, Australia. Payne auditioned for the 5th series of The X Factor in 2008, at 14 years old, in front of judges Simon Cowell, Cheryl Cole, Danny Minogue and Lewis Walsh. Payne moved past the first round after performing Frank Sinatra's Fly Me to the Moon. He was cut at the boot camp stage, but Cowell then changed his mind and asked Payne to return for the Judges' Houses stage. Payne was cut again during Judges' Houses, but was encouraged by Cowell to come back in 2 years. Payne returned to the show in 2010 for the 7th series, auditioning in front of Cowell, Cole, Walsh and guest judge Natalie Imbruglia. He sang the Michael Bublé version of Cry Me a River, which earned him 4 yeses and a standing ovation from Cowell. Payne was considered the second favorite to win the competition following his solo audition. He failed to progress to the boys category at Judges' Houses, but after a suggestion by guest judge Nicole Scherzinger, Payne, along with Harry Styles, Niall Horan, Louis Tomlinson, and Zayn Malik, were put together to form a 5-piece boy band at Wembley Arena during the boot camp stage of the competition, thus qualifying for the groups category. The group then got together for 2 weeks to get to know each other and to practice. For their qualifying song at Judges' Houses, and their first song as a group, they performed an acoustic version of Torn. Cowell later commented that the performance convinced him that the group were confident, fun, like a gang of friends, and kind of fearless as well. The group quickly gained popularity in the UK, and came in 3rd place on the show. After appearing on The X Factor, One Direction were signed to Simon Cowell's Psycho Entertainment. A book licensed by One Direction, Forever Young, Our Official X Factor Story, was released in February 2011 and topped the Sunday Times bestseller list. Their debut single, What Makes You Beautiful, was released in September 2011 and was a commercial and international success, reaching #1 in several countries. Their debut album, Up All Night, was released in Ireland and the UK of November of that year, charting at #1 and #2, respectively. The album was released worldwide in March 2012, and One Direction became the first UK group to have their debut album reach #1 in the United States. After the release of the album, the group headlined the Up All Night tour. It had been intended only for the UK and Ireland. Australian and North American legs of the tour were added due to demand. A commercial success, tickets for the tour sold out in minutes and garnered positive reviews from critics who applauded the band's singing abilities and stage presence. The band released Up All Night, the live tour, a video album documenting the tour, in May 2012. That same month, One Direction's first book to be licensed in America, Dare to Dream, Life as One Direction, was published and topped the New York Times bestseller list. A white man with a bold arm tattoo of 5 arrows sings into a microphone. Payne performing in February 2013 on the Take Me Home tour. In September 2012, Live While We're Young, the lead single from the group's second album, was released and was a global success. Another single, Little Things, spawned the band's second #1 single in the UK. In November 2012, the group released their second album, Take Me Home, and it reached #1 in over 35 countries. Reaching #1 on the Billboard 200, the group became the first boy band in U.S. chart history to record 2 #1 albums in the same calendar year, and were the first group since 2008 to record 2 #1 albums in the same year. Following the release of the album, the group embarked on their second headlining concert tour, the Take Me Home tour. Performing 123 shows in North America, Asia, Oceania, and Europe, grossing $114 million. During the tour, One Direction covered Wheatus's Teenage Dirtbag. In the original song, lead vocalist Brendan Brown performs a segment in a female voice which, in One Direction's rendition of the song, Payne covered in falsetto. This garnered praise from Brown, who commented, "You can do my girl part anytime." In August 2013, One Direction, This Is Us, a 3D documentary concert film was released, accumulating a box office gross of $68.50 million. One Direction's third book, One Direction, Where We Are, Our Band, Our Story, 100% Official, was released that same month. The group's third album, Midnight Memories, was released in November of the same year. It was the best-selling album worldwide in 2013 with 4 million copies sold globally. The album's lead single, Best Song Ever, is their highest-charting single in the U.S. to date. The group embarked on their third headline tour, the Where We Are Tour. Tickets sold out in minutes, and more shows were added due to overwhelming demand. The tour was their first all-stadium tour, averaging 49,848 fans per show. In total, the tour grossed over $290 million and was the highest-grossing tour of 2014, the 15th highest-grossing concert tour of all time. It is still the highest-grossing tour of all time by a vocal group. The tour was attended by 3.4 million fans. A photo of 4 white men performing. Payne performing with One Direction on the On the Road Again tour in 2015. In September 2014, One Direction's fourth book, One Direction, Who We Are, Our Official Autobiography, was released. The group's second concert film, One Direction, Where We Are, the concert film, was released in October 2014, showing footage of the band's shows at San Siro Stadium in Milan, Italy. In November 2014, the group's fourth album, Four, was released, making it the last album to include Zayn Malik. Singles Steal My Girl and Night Changes were released, both achieving platinum status in the US among other countries. The album debuted #1 in 18 countries, selling 3.2 million copies. One Direction became the only group in the 58-year history of the Billboard 200 albums chart to have their first 4 albums debut at #1. The group embarked on their fourth headlining world tour, the On the Road Again tour, grossing $208 million and selling 2.3 million tickets in November 2015. One Direction's fifth album, Made in AM, was released. Singles Drag Me Down and Perfect both debuted at #1 in various countries, and the album reached #1 in the UK and #2 on the US Billboard 200. Following the release of the album, the group went on an indefinite hiatus in 2016. following the departure of Zayn Malik, Payne was tasked with taking over the bulk of Malik's vocals. Payne was known as one of the principal songwriters in One Direction, credited for co-writing more than half of the songs on the band's third and fourth album. Together with Louis Tomlinson, Payne was also One Direction's top earner. 2016 to 2021, solo projects and LP1. Payne began working as a producer under the monikers Big Payno or Payno, teaming up with fellow producers after HRS to remix several tracks, including Cheryl's I Don't Care in 2014. Some EDM websites noted Payne's remixes were venturing into future house. Payne was also credited with writing Cole's I Won't Break, off her album Only Human. In August 2014, Payne created and became director of Hampton Music Limited, a publishing company under which his solo projects appeared. Australian band 5 Seconds of Summer is signed to One Mode Productions Limited, on which Payne served as one of the directors. Payne began working on future projects, collaborating with Juicy J on 7 tracks with more in the works. DJ Mustard and Miguel Dutt. He was in the studio with producer and performing artist Pharrell Williams. Payne also contacted The Collective member and YouTube musician and producer Will Singed. In 2015, Payne collaborated with songwriter Jamie Scott on Irish band Hometown single The Night We Met. In early 2016, Payne featured on a track titled You by Wiz Khalifa and Juicy J. Payne denied that the track was a single, but it was confirmed to be a leak from an untitled, unreleased mixtape. In October 2016, it was announced that Payne had signed a recording contract with Republic Records. His debut solo single Strip That Down, featuring Quavo and co-written with Ed Sheeran and Steve Mac, was released on 19 May 2017 and sent to U.S. contemporary hit radio on 23 May. The song was a commercial success, reaching number 10 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 and number 3 on the UK singles chart. Payne later released the single Bedroom Floor and a collaboration with Zedd, Get Low. Regarding his forthcoming debut album, Payne stated, "It's very eclectic. It's more like my playlist album, my favorite playlist of songs that I have made over the past year. So, some slow jams, there's a couple of dance songs on there, with some R&B stuff. So it's a lot of different stuff." Payne in October 2018. In January 2018, Payne and Rita Ora released the single Free from the soundtrack of the film 50 Shades Freed. In April 2018, Payne released Familiar with J Balvin. That he announced his debut album would be released on 14 September 2018. On March 30, 2018, Payne performed in front of more than 100,000 people during a free concert at Global Village 2018 in Dubai. He released his first extended play, First Time, which features a collaboration with French Montana of the same name, on August 24, 2018. Prior to the EP's release, Payne announced that he was putting off his album to make some adjustments to it. That he contributed vocals on Jonas Blues' song Polaroid, along with Lennon Stella, released on October 5, 2018. Payne released the song Stack It Up, featuring American rapper A Boogie with Da Hoodie, on September 18, 2019. After its release, Payne revealed that his album was finished and would more likely be released in 2020, although in October, the album, LP1, was confirmed for a December 6, 2019 release date. That he released All I Want for Christmas on October 25 as the first track from the album. It was released to mixed to negative reviews, and debuted at number 17 on the UK Albums Chart and number 111 on the Billboard 200. In April 2020, Payne collaborated with Alesso and released the song Midnight to positive reviews. The same month, Payne began a weekly YouTube series. In July, he announced he would be launching the LP Show, a live stream series, with Act 1 being a live-streamed concert. On October 30, 2020, Payne released Naughty List, a Christmas single featuring Dixie D'Amelio. In August 2021, Payne released the single Sunshine, which was featured in the film Ron's Gone Wrong. 2023 to 2024, planned second studio album. In May 2023, Payne revealed he was working on his second album, which he claimed to have more creative control over than he did his debut album. He scheduled his first solo tour dates for Latin America to take place in September 2023. He postponed the tour after he was hospitalized in August 2023 with a kidney infection. Payne returned to music with the single Teardrops, which was released on 1 March 2024. The single was co-written with NSYNC member JC Chases. Teardrops reached number 39 on the UK singles downloads chart. Artistry. On One Direction's later 3 albums, especially 4, Payne became a prolific co-writer with over 30 credits total, second only to Louis Tomlinson, with whom he frequently collaborated. Where Tomlinson was known for his lyricism, Payne had a penchant for coming up with melodies. Payne was a pop and R&B singer who explored other genres including electronic music. He cited Chris Brown, Pharrell Williams, Justin Timberlake, and Usher as major musical influences. Payne stated, "The person who has inspired me most is Pharrell Williams, who I worked with a while back. I got talking to his producer recently and asked him what Pharrell was like when he was younger, and he said to me that when he was my age he couldn't press a note on a keyboard. And that was amazing to me because at 22 I thought I was too old to learn guitar." His first exposure to rock music was through Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory with In the End, as they were the gateway for him to listen to other types of music outside of what he would typically listen to as a child. Payne would label In the End as one of the most important songs of his life. Other ventures. Payne was named the first global brand ambassador for German brand Hugo Boss in May 2019. The first Hugo x Liam Payne capsule collection was revealed during Berlin Fashion Week in July 2020. His second capsule collection with Hugo Boss was launched in May 2020. The collection, which mainly consists of men's wardrobes, includes polo shirts, t-shirts, shorts, hoodies, sweatpants, and a pair of sneakers. By end January 2020, Payne starred in the Hugo Boss fragrance campaign for their perfume Hugo Now. In June 2021, Payne launched his non-fungible token, NFT, digital artwork collection, entitled Lonely Bug. On January 25, 2022, he dedicated a separate Twitter account at PayneOEDH solely to discuss the subject. Philanthropy. Payne at a charity football event in 2014. As a member of One Direction, Payne supported many charities. The band supported BBC's Children in Need fundraising efforts. The band also supported Comic Relief, notably raising over £2 million for the charity in 2013, in part through the release of a charity single One Way or Another, Teenage Kicks, and films of the band's trip to Ghana. He was also part of an initiative titled Action 1D to help better the future. Payne was an avid supporter of UNICEF and teamed up with tennis star Andy Murray, Jack Whitehall, and Claire Balding in support of UNICEF UK's Children in Danger Summer Disease Appeal. Payne teamed up with motorsports star Eddie Jordan in support of UK-based charity CLIC Sargent. Payne was an ambassador for the charitable organization Trekstock. Payne's original campaign with the organization in 2013 raised $784,198. He raised an additional $211,237 during his campaign in 2015. Payne was also named an Ambassador of Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the Global Goals Campaign. In 2015, Payne helped to promote a £6 million youth project, the Youth Zone, in his hometown of Wolverhampton. Payne and bandmate Harry Styles partnered with Trekstock, a youth cancer charity, by taking two people on a date. They became Trekstock ambassadors. Payne co-hosted a charity ball in honor of Believe in Magic, an organization that supports terminally ill children, with bandmate Lewis Tomlinson. Tomlinson donated £50,000 for Payne's face to be painted. Collectively, Payne and Tomlinson donated over £5 million at the event. In 2018, Payne and Tomlinson filmed an episode of Gogglebox in support for Stand Up to Cancer. Liam was an advocate for food security. Beginning in the spring of 2020, he became a donor to the Trussell Trust and its network of UK food banks, funding more than 360,000 meals during the COVID-19 pandemic. He said, "I'm glad to be playing my small part as we work towards a future in which nobody needs a food bank." More specifically, Payne donated £80,000 and volunteered to help out in person at Euston Food Bank and Food for All in Holborn, which was not revealed until after his death. Food for All director Pete O'Grady said Payne didn't want anyone to make a thing about it. He let nobody know of his generosity. Payne participated in UNICEF's Soccer Aid. In 2022, he captained the English team, and he returned in the 2023 event. Payne donated thousands of pounds to various GoFundMe pages in the month prior to his death. In a Snapchat video uploaded at the time, he explained, "I've been going on night by night, trying to finish off people's donations so that they can get the operations they need." Personal life. From 2010 to late 2012, Payne dated then X Factor dancer Danielle Peaser. From 2013 to 2015, he was in a relationship with a childhood friend, Sophia Smith. In 2016, he started dating Cheryl. They had one son who was born on 22 March 2017. Their relationship ended in 2018. In early 2019, he dated British model and actress Naomi Campbell. Payne began dating model Maya Henry in 2019. They they became engaged in August 2020. By June 2021, Payne and Henry had separated. The couple reunited that year and became engaged again. In May 2022, the couple ended their engagement for the second time, from October 2022 until his death on October 16, 2024. He had been in a relationship with influencer Kate Cassidy. Payne's net worth was estimated at £47 million in 2020. Payne owned homes in Malibu, California, and Surrey, but listed them for sale in early 2020 and 2021, respectively. In 2020, he moved to Chalfont Street, Giles, Buckinghamshire to be near his son, having previously lived with Cheryl in nearby Chalfont St. Peter. Payne was a supporter of the football team West Bromwich Albion. Political views. Payne was pro-choice. In May 2019, amidst anti-abortion legislation passed in Alabama, Payne stated that they were completely taking away the rights of women and the ownership of the bodies that belong to them, and that us as men never have to go through that, so how can we even comment or decide what women should or shouldn't go through? Also adding, here was me thinking it was supposed to be the land of the free. It all looks very tied up from where I'm standing. In May 2020, Payne expressed support for the Black Lives Matter movement and encouraged fans to educate themselves and donate. He attended London Black Lives Matter protests. Health. Payne had spoken about struggling with alcoholism since the peak of One Direction's success. More specifically, he mentioned being locked in hotel rooms with a minibar between gigs. Payne also discussed his struggles with suicidal ideation. In May 2023, he stated that he had been sober for over 3 months, and in July he shared a video expanding on this, sharing he spent 100 days in a rehab facility in Louisiana. Payne received an ADHD diagnosis as an adult. In August 2023, he was hospitalized with a kidney infection. On June 1, 2022, he was interviewed by Logan Paul for his podcast series, with Payne recording while intoxicated. Payne said that One Direction originated with a promise that Simon Cowell had made to him. Payne had previously appeared on the show, and Cowell purportedly pledged to make it work should he return. He also discussed former fellow member Zayn Malik's family life and stated, "There's many reasons why I dislike Zayn, and there's many reasons why I'll always be on his side." He subsequently clarified his remarks on Malik and apologized. Death. Group of fans remembering Payne in front of the hotel where he died. Main article, Death of Liam Payne. On October 16, 2024, Payne died after falling from a third-floor balcony at the Casa Sur Hotel in the Palermo neighborhood of Buenos Aires, Argentina, at the age of 31. His death was confirmed at 5:11 p.m. Argentina time, UTC-3 o'clock, and announced by Alberto Crescenti, director of Buenos Aires Public Emergency Medical Service. On the Argentine news channel TN, initial post-mortem examination indicated that Payne died from internal and external hemorrhages and multiple traumatic injuries. Tributes were paid by Payne's family, Cheryl, Cowell, One Direction bandmates, and many others, with some using theirs to raise concerns about the music industry, media, and adolescent fame in their commemorations. Shortly after his death, fans of the singer and One Direction gathered outside the hotel. As the van carrying Payne's body was driven away, there was a moment of applause from the crowd. The group then lit candles and wept before dispersing. Fans also gathered to light candles in Mexico City on October 17, and a service was held in Copenhagen. Written notes were left at London's Hard Rock Cafe, and fans laid flowers at the One Direction plaque at Clevedon Pier. A vigil was held at the Lady Wolfram statue at St. Peter's Collegiate Church on 18 October. A fan memorial took place at Hyde Park and Chamberlain Square on 20 October, as well as in other UK cities over the weekend. Further memorials were held in cities across the world, including in New York's Washington Square Park.